Readings of the National Academy of Sciences has published one of the most important papers in science. It's about why we are small as children. It's a reply to another paper it published earlier. This paper examined one of the most important but rarely discussed biological facts about us as a species, that as children half of what we eat gets burnt in our brains. But that paper gave the wrong explanation of why that results in children being slow growers. I have a different reason, and this opens a new window upon what might make us unique. A blind spot exists in science. The metabolic activity of young brains can only at present be studied with radioactive tracers. As a result, how much energy the young brain uses has only been researched on those very few occasions in which the use of radioactive tracers can be justified by medical need. Those few opportunities reveal the childhood brain to be a radically different place to that in the infant or adult. The cerebral cortex by the age of 4 burns over twice the energy of that in an adult or infant. That is due to a doubling compared to that in an infant or adult in its number of synapses. These are the connections between neurons, and they are responsible for most of the brain's energy consumption. That doubling exists to enable the refinement of the circuits and the networks between them across the brain. The initial excess allows the pruning down of these links. This leaves the brain as an adult with the most effectively linked circuitry and network connectivity. That creates a big energy problem. The volume of grey matter of a child is the same as in an adult, but that adult-sized brain inhabits a small body, and that results in it taking a massive half share of every bit of energy the child eats. Human children, amongst all mammals, are uniquely slow growers. For many years after a brief infant body weight spurt, which mainly adds body fat, the young human puts on weight at the slow rate of cold-blooded reptiles, not the faster one of warm-blooded mammals. It needs a catch-up spurt at puberty to make up for that period of slow growth. What is the link between this slow growth and the young brain's energy guzzling? The authors of the earlier paper shows it exists, but do they have the right answer? They suggest children allocate extra energy to the brain by saving on energy spent on tissue growth. But body growth does not cost much. And if saving energy was important, then children would cut down on engaging on all types of exercise. But in fact, they engage in more low and moderate physical exertion than adults or adolescents. It's only in intense exertion where children spend less energy. There is another reason: exercise hypoglycemia. The skeletal muscle in your body, when exerted for long periods, can compete with the brain for the glucose in your blood. That competition can impair the brain. However, competition only exists for sustained, intense exertion. When you first exercise, muscle draws upon the glycogen stored within itself. Then it starts on energy sources other than glucose carried in the blood, which the brain does not use, such as fatty acids. And it also starts using glucose, but not necessarily with problems, since the liver ramps up its generation of glucose to match its needs. However, this can fail to compensate if exertion is sustained for long. Exercise hypoglycemia could damage a child's brain. Not only does it use more glucose than the adult, but compared to the adult one, it is much more sensitive to slight drops in plasma glucose. But the child's brain is not at risk. Children never engage in the sustained exertion that might cause their muscles to compete for glucose. In children, 95% of intense activity lasts less than 15 seconds, and the metabolism of their muscles compared to adults is shifted to using fatty acids, which the brain does not use, and they lack skeletal muscle. Not only do they have smaller bodies, but the percentage of muscle is smaller than that in adults. This is why we grow so slowly. The extra energy saved helps, but the key factor is stopping metabolic competition between brawn and brain. This science provides a window into what makes us unique. Neanderthals are known to have grown up faster than modern humans. By understanding the link between slow growth that can be seen in the fossil record and the brain neuromaturation that cannot, we can infer that while Neanderthals had brains as big as modern people, their brains had a shorter period of neuromaturation and so had neural connections that had undergone less refinement. Since research on network connectivity of the brain links the efficiency of its linkage with cognitive abilities, this suggests that in spite of having similar size brains, Neanderthals had brains that were less able than modern people. Another piece of evidence supports this. Our brains are global in shape, while Neanderthals had ones rather elongated. This difference arises just at the time when children enter their high-energy expensive neuromaturation. Why? Look at the points on the edge of a globe. They have the minimal distance between each other for points on the surface of a 3D shape. A key factor in making networks efficient is minimizing delays due to connection distance. The global shape of your brain ensures that it's arranged so its areas can be connected with the minimal delays that Neanderthals were not, suggests that connection refinement was not so important as it is for us for their brain neuromaturation. So we are not like Neanderthals. Our same-size brains differ in how well the networks of connections within them are optimized for efficient information processing. And with this, lots of research, both theoretical and empirical, suggests the capacity for complex cognition.